Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden, and in today's video we're going to be going over what I believe to be the 13, because I couldn't just think of, I thought of 10 and then I thought of a couple extras and I was like, dang it, I want to include them. So 13 best modifications I recommend to do to your car. As like some of these are more like, obviously you get into them when it becomes a full build, but the majority of them are just like things that I think every car could do, and it wouldn't really hurt the car in any way, and it would just make it kind of cooler in every way. You know what I mean? Some of them are the other way, and that's why they're going to be, spoiler alert, towards the end, towards the bottom of this list, because obviously I understand not everybody wants to go like big right out of the get-go, but most of them are just lighter things that I think I recommend doing to almost any car out there. Almost any. Obviously some of them, you know, if you have a Chevy Cruze, the only mod I recommend doing is posting it on Facebook, a for sale sign in the windshield. But either way, the song of the day is called Dragula by Rob Zombie. Y'all already know what this banger is. It's a freaking banger. It brings me back to like Need for Speed Underground days. So go give it a listen if you haven't already. It's a rock and roll song, obviously, but yeah, go give it a listen. Without further ado, let's get right into it with number 13. And that, my friends, is going to any form of forced induction, whether that's supercharge or turbocharge or procharge or whatever it may be. Forced induction on that bad mother chamber. This is what I meant when I said in the intro that like the bigger ones that like obviously I understand only a very small percentage of car guys are actually going to end up doing to their cars are at the bottom of the list, because again, this is not something I would say every car should do. Obviously there are a lot of cars out there where you probably shouldn't turbo them, man. Just keep them stock if you want to enjoy them to the fullest potential, because it's fun to drive a turbo car, but it's only fun when the car's actually driving, and the vast majority of cars will just blow up if you add any boost to them. So yeah, but obviously for those who don't know, forced induction is boost, it's turbos, it's all the pushing in more air than the car wants to have in it, and it makes the car go a whole lot faster. It's one of the best mods out there for performance in terms of horsepower gains, easily, and that's why everybody kind of loves it. And yeah, it's definitely on my list, but again, towards the bottom, because not everybody. And honestly, 12th place only applies if you did 13th place, so that's why I put it here. I was going to put it one spot lower because it's less important in my opinion than forced induction, but then I was like, oh well, that kind of just spoils what 12th place is, so I put it one spot higher instead. But it's fuel injectors, yeah, fuel rails. Yeah, obviously if you're putting in a lot more air in your car, you're going to need a lot more fuel in your car. You need that perfect mixture, or else you're going to be, well, actually if you had too much air, I was going to say or else you'll be shooting flames, but you won't be shooting flames, you'll be running lean, and so it would just be horrible. It would just not be a fun time to drive. So yeah, just put some more fuel injectors on there. I know everybody wants to like have all the cool noises and do all the cool things, but dude, it's just destroying your car. Like I'm 25 at this point, man. I don't care about all that stuff, man. The popping and banging, flame tunes, turbo spool, like blow off valve things. Like I don't care about all that, man. Just make your car safe, make your car reliable, or else you're gonna have nightmares. So yeah, buy some fuel injectors if you go forced induction. But now we're at to the actual part where like the majority of these I would recommend for almost any car. Unless I say otherwise, I think every car out there could use these things. And coming in at 11th place, barely missing out on the top 10. This one again is only really applies to certain cars. That's why it's here at 11th. Apple CarPlay, or really any sort of upgraded radio. But again, this only applies to older cars. I would say anywhere from like 2010 and before. Yeah, they could utilize a new radio for sure. I will say though, there have been some of the best radios I've ever heard have been stock radios from like 90s cars. My Integra, dude, that radio is perfect. It literally sounds incredible. Sounds better than my friends like brand new trucks do at sometimes. So it is interesting. But either way, if your radio sounds like Dookie Water and it sounds like you're listening to some guy just going the whole time, buy some Apple CarPlay to modify to change it up. Dude, music is a freaking lifesaver when driving your car. I don't care what anybody says. Every car guy's all like, oh, I don't listen to music, so I just like listening to the sound of my car. Dude, if you daily drive your car, the sound of that car, it gets old, man. Okay, and so at a certain point, yeah, I want to listen to some freaking music. And breaking its way into the top 10, however, isn't even really a mod, but it is better headlights / clean your headlights. Honestly speaking, man, again, I'm 25, gotten to the point where I'm starting to realize the majority of stock headlights are kind of cool. I like when I bought my 350Z, it had modified aftermarket headlights on it, had black housing and all that stuff, and at first I thought it was cool, and then I bought stock headlights and put the stock headlights back in. It was like, wow, that's just so much better. It was just so much nicer, so much cleaner. But if you do have stock headlights and you're like, well, what about me? Clean them. clean your headlights. Nice clean looking glass on those headlights goes such a freaking long way. It's unbelievable. You could have the actual cleanest car ever, Rocket Bunny freaking S14. I actually don't like Rocket Bunny S14s, but you get what I'm saying. Wide body, crazy, beautiful paint job on it, the freaking Volk TE37s on the most perfect build on planet Earth. But if the headlights are nasty looking, it's gonna look like trash. And coming in at 9th place is the Ricer mod, the mod that I always do to all my cars because I am a Ricer and I like my cars looking cool. Aerodynamics, body kits, whatever you want to call it, any sort of aero for the car, in my opinion, goes a long way. Now, I want to make it abundantly clear, I'm not just talking about performance aero, okay? And that's where the Ricer part comes into play. I understand why people do like the whole time attack stuff. Dude, I love time attack. You guys know that. I'm a big hill climb style fan. I love watching the videos of that stuff. I get why they put the arrow on like that, but I don't think that looks that great, if I'm being honest, and I don't think they do either, honestly. It's not meant to look good. It's meant to be functional. But any sort of just body kit that brings the car all together. Like, I know, like, a lot, for example, F30 328i owners usually like to put the M Sport package on their cars. That's awesome. I like how those look. My Integra has, like, Integra Type R, you know, body kit, front lip, side skirts, and rear little spats, and a wing on it, because I like it. I think it looks good. Any sort of aero to make the car look better, in your opinion, obviously this is 100% personal opinion, goes not only a long way in terms of, like, getting attention and, you know, getting people to like your car, but also just making you happier driving your car. It feels a lot better if you know your car looks cool. Coming in at 8th place, quite literally, I think every single car on planet Earth should have. I don't see the downside of this whatsoever. It's window tints. Obviously, yeah, going 5% all around is a little bit crazy, but I'm talking about just like a regular old window tint, maybe 35% all around, and then maybe like 50, 60% on the front windshield. I don't know, but just something that's like makes it so that people can't clearly see you picking your nose and listening to your rap music and looking like a goofball in the front seat. Any sort of window tint, honestly, in my opinion, goes. And then on top of all that, dude, it helps keep the car, not by like a noticeable margin, especially if it's really hot out, but it helps keep the car a little bit cool when you're not in the car because of the tint. The sun can't get through as well. And then on top of all of that, if you have, like, dude, there's been multiple times where I went to go buy a car, and so I had a lot of cash on me, and we go inside and get some food or something. Now, obviously, I put the money that I have on me in the glove box, but, like, imagine if you don't do that. You forget to do that for some whatever reason. Like, it happens to the best of us, you know. We forget things, especially me. I forget things all the time. And so you just put it on the passenger seat, and then, like, somebody walks by and just looks in and sees that. You know what I mean? Window tints do nothing but help, in my opinion, as long as you're conservative with it. Don't go crazy. Don't make it pitch black and so that you can't see. But if you go conservative and do, like, a smart window tints to your car, oh my god, it's beneficial for everybody. Oh, also, I forgot to mention in the window tints portion there, but I would highly recommend just getting it done professionally. Yes, it's a little bit extra money, actually a pretty good amount of extra money, but dude, it'll last so much longer and not look raggy, so just do that. Either way, 7th place is, again, only applicable for certain people. Locked differentials. Any human being that is going for any sort of motorsports build, but like, everybody obviously always, you know, thinks of drifting when they think of locked differentials, but all motorsports use some form of a locked. They do not use open diffs. No matter what motorsport it is, they do not use an open differential. So if you're going to do any form of motorsport, lock your diff. It doesn't have to be welding it. Like, if you have no money and you want to weld it. You know, I've welded diffs before, not on my cars, but I've welded diffs before for my friends' cars. It's worked perfectly fine. If you have the money, sure, go for a limited slip diff. But whatever it is, just close that freaking diff up, man. It's not McDonald's. Don't keep it open. And coming in at 5th place, again, only applies to certain people yet again. It's kind of how, but I feel like the majority of viewers on my channel anyways kind of have these cars. That's why they're on my list. But it's any sort of radiator. And the reason why I say it applies to certain cars is because this applies to older cars yet again. 90s cars, early 2000s cars, and obviously 80s, 70s, 60s cars. Better cooling in your car is never a downside. Literally, just how could it be? Well, your car's too cold? What? I mean, I guess technically speaking, yeah, your car could be too cold and you don't want to drive it when it's freezing cold. But there's no way a radiator is going to do that. You know what I mean? If you upgrade your radiator, not only are most aftermarket radiators lighter than your original radiator, which obviously helps a little bit. It's not the main selling point, but they obviously do help a little bit. But they cool down that motor so freaking much. And if you're doing, again, any form of motorsports on a stock radiator, that car is going to get hot very, very quickly. Okay, Okay, fourth place quite literally only applies to very certain cars. Even I can't even say like just 90s cars, just 2000s cars, because even some 90s cars this doesn't apply to, and some 2000s cars it doesn't apply to. Look at your car, be smart, use your brain, just look at it. Does it need one? But it is a cold air intake. There are so many people nowadays that are starting to realize, hey, wait a minute, cold air intakes aren't a necessity for every single car out there. A lot of cars, the stock intake is a lot better, but they think it looks cool, and it makes that slightly different noise, and so they put it on anyways, and then the car ends up actually running hotter than before because your cold air intake is actually a hot air intake. So just be smart when it comes to this. Look at your car, look up forums. Does it actually help your car if you put a cold air intake on it? Well, if it does, put one on there. It's super cheap, and it will just, again, cool your car off quite a bit. One of the cheapest mods you could do. It does look a lot cooler, and on top of all of that other stuff, it does make that little noise too, by the way, but on top of all of that other stuff, it also clears up a lot of room. That's the big problem with those big stock boxes that a lot of the cars have. If you have a tighter engine bay, having a cold air intake on there and getting rid of that stock box can clear up some room for other fun mods that you want to do in the future. Okay, third place. So yeah, this applies quite literally to any car out there, as long as it's not like literally a daily, like if you're driving like a Hyundai Santa Fe, then obviously don't do this. But if you're any car that you want to modify in any sort, I think you should open up that exhaust a little bit. Not only does it obviously make cool noises, and everybody wants to, here's my big thing about it. Okay, everybody likes to judge other people for their cars and their noises. VQ sound like trumpets, Civics sound annoying, whatever, blah blah blah. If you like the sound, you like the sound. That's all that freaking matters, man. Just don't be a pain in the rear end about it. You know what I mean? If it's 3 a.m. and you're driving through a residential neighborhood, don't be slamming on your freaking gas. Just be nice. You know, be a normal human being, and just be courteous of other people. And you're fine with me, as long as you like the sound. You like the sound. So the sound is obviously a good thing. You like the sound, whatever makes you happy. But opening an exhaust quite literally just is a necessity if you're gonna add any form of power in the future. Because if not, you're literally adding power for quite literally no reason. Like if you don't have an open exhaust, that power is just going to get pretty much just stuck, and it's just at that point, it's just, yeah, you're running into problems after problems after problems. Do it first, because not only do you want to do it first anyways, we all know you want to do it first, but it's also going to help in the future. Coming in at second place, we're getting to the part where it just makes me happy even thinking about them. I'm just gonna be honest. Oh, my AC is beeping because the water's full. I'll have to empty that in a second. Coming in at second place though is coilovers. Yeah, coilovers, lowering springs, airbags, whatever it is, lower that freaking car, man. Airbags are a little bit like iffy. I know some people out there are like, well, actually airbags could be really good performance modifications. They can. 99% of people that put aftermarket airbags on their cars are not using them for performance, so just let's put that out there. And those are obviously a lot more expensive. Dude, I've just gotten coilovers my whole life, and everybody I've known has gotten coilovers their whole life, and they have worked a treat. They are not that expensive. You can obviously splurge and get like $4,000 pairs of coilovers if you really want to, but the majority of us don't need those. You're looking at anywhere from $500 to $1,000, and it'll literally completely change not only the handling of your car, obviously, but the looks of your car too. There is a certain aspect of, I think everybody should have these, but at the same time, I don't think everybody's set to like dude, I've driven with my mom. Listen, I love my mom, but she hits every pothole known to mankind. She goes out of her way to hit them. She's a heat-seeking missile when it comes to potholes. So obviously, there is some people that I don't think should have coilovers. They're just not ready to drive a lowered car yet, but it will almost always, in my opinion, help. Like I can't really think of any instance where like, oh no, a car just pulled out in front of me, I wish I had stock suspension. Like, no, having coilovers just helps even in that scenario as well. Like obviously that doesn't happen that often. The main purpose of I'm not trying to say the main purpose of coilovers is to help you in accidents, but obviously the main purpose is track performance. But still, like, it even helps there, you know what I mean? Coilovers are just awesome. I love them, and since they're 9 times out of 10 adjustable, you can set it to wherever you want to and just be perfect. First place, though, in my opinion, easily the number one mod, the best mod you could do for a car, and I think almost every YouTuber will tell you this as long as they've done it themselves. Because, dude, I used to be, when I was a young lad and watching videos just like this, because obviously I'm not the first person to do a video talking about mods you should do to your car, but when I was a young lad watching videos just like this, almost every one of the YouTubers would say wheels and tires. And I was always like, they're not that important. They're overreacting. No, they're not. No, they are not. Until you actually put like some sticky tires on your car, you will not understand what they're talking about. Dude, it is a actual clear night and day difference. It can make a 4,000-pound car feel like a 3,000-pound car overnight. A nice set of sticky wheels and tires is insane. Now, obviously, there is the kind of problem where you can't really daily drive a nice set of tires everywhere, because it doesn't do the best in the rain. It doesn't do the best in the snow. There have been multiple times where I've had to leave my car somewhere overnight because I have sticky tires on my car, where I've had to leave my tire, for those wondering, they're Falcon and Zenith. They're not the most sticky tires out there, but they are a little sticky. I've had to leave it overnight though because it snowed out, and so somebody came and picked me up and drove me home, and obviously that is a freaking nightmare to deal with. But honestly, man, I'm probably going to do it for the remainder of my life at this point. Like, I'm not going to go back to regular tires on any of my quote-unquote sports cars from here on out. Like, it is unbelievable, dude. It made my Integra feel like Integra already felt like a lightweight car. Putting some nice sticky tires on it made it feel like an actual go-kart. Like, I could take corners at like 90-degree corners at 90 miles an hour, not literally, but it feels that way. It gives you this insane sense of confidence too when driving. It is insanely good, as long as you're not doing, and honestly, even I was about to say, as long as you're not doing just straight line performance, but even straight line drag racing guys have insanely big sticky tires on the back. So literally any form of motorsports, you're gonna want a nice set of tires, any one of them. But invest in them. And on top of that, wheels. We didn't even get to talk about the wheels part. Wheels also, yeah, they can save weight. Everybody likes to talk about, oh, they save weight. It's not. Let's be real with ourselves here, guys. That's not the reason why we're putting on different wheels. We're putting on different wheels for two reasons. One, so we can fit bigger brakes in them, and two, because they freaking look good. Okay, that's the only reason why. That's the only reason why we're putting on nicer wheels. So wheels are also a big one too. They completely change the car. Coilovers, wheels, tires. That right there is enough to last you the next entire year of happiness with your car. It will literally completely change how you feel about your car. Completely change it. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video of the 13 first mods that I would do to a car, or just mods that I recommend doing to your car, if you will. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what other videos I'd like to see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for any of my other social medias or any of my other YouTube videos or channels or any of that great mumbo jumbo. And yeah, obviously you guys are probably sitting there for the, if you're watching at this point, obviously you guys are probably fans of the Mark Roden channel. And you're probably sitting there wondering, hey man, where have you been? You haven't uploaded in like 3 days, and before that you hadn't uploaded for like 6 days. So what's going on? What's up with the uploads? As you guys know, recently I made a slight change to the channel where I'm gonna stop doing mainly top 10 cheap cars and gonna try and branch out and do other things, mainly vlogs, but also some deep dives and stuff like that. It was a much larger shift and a completely different like lifestyle change, honestly, than I thought it was going to be, and I was not even close to prepared for it. So as a matter of fact, we're gonna unfortunately have to take that back, and we're not gonna be changing to just a vlog channel because it's literally like I said, man, it's a complete different life change, and I was not ready for it pretty much. And so we're back hopefully to uploading every other day and doing top 10s, but they're not gonna, I do want to change them up, man. As you can tell, the past 2 top 10s we have done were not cheap car top 10s. I want to do top 10s that make me that are fun to talk about, in my opinion, and this is one of those. These are one of the ones that were fun to talk about. A lot of other people have been saying that they like the Mark's talking and driving videos as well. So maybe we'll do those in the future too for some top 10s. But yeah, we're going to change it up a little bit, but definitely not as much as I thought I was going to like 2 weeks ago. That was, I bit off more than I could chew is pretty much what I'm saying. But yeah, we're back, baby. Sorry about that. It was stupid. Also, guys, fun fact, dude, well, actually not fun fact, slightly fun fact. I went to a drag race last night at Lebanon Valley. I live in Connecticut, for those who don't know. I went over to Lebanon Valley. It was called the Night of Fire. It was like, they have like rocket cars. It's super cool. I know everybody's like, oh, drag racing, just straight line. Dude, I like any form of motorsports. I don't care what it is. And I live in Connecticut. Unfortunately, we don't have the motorsports that I like up here, which is like hill climb, rally racing, stuff like that. I can't go see that. So yeah, I'm going to drag races. It's fun, all right? But anyways, unfortunately the night sucked because it rained, and so we got there, spent 25 bucks, got to see literally, I'm not even joking, one single car. Yeah, I had a rocket on the back and it was cool, but one single car, then we had to leave. It was like an actual nightmare. But good news, I got kettle corn. Dude, I'm not lying when I say this. This is the best kettle corn I've ever had in my entire lifetime. Period. I can't remember the name of the truck. I think it was like called Pops Corn or something like that, like Pops, P-O-P-S corn. I don't remember, but it was freaking fire. If you go to Lebanon Valley and they have popcorn there, buy yourself a bag of it. It is actually the best. Not sponsored, but dude, these guys know what they're freaking doing. Oh my goodness. I just had to let you guys know because it's the best popcorn I've ever had, quite literally, hands down, easily. I got like the biggest bag known to mankind. I'm going to finish this all today, I guarantee it. I'm going to be the most unhealthy human being on planet Earth because it's so good. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.